how good are some of these new weapons coming into Splatoon 3 Fresh Season 2024? Now, good morning or good afternoon to all of you guys at home. Hope you guys are having a good whatever. But a day and a half has passed and 4 new weapons have revealed some of their kits for Fresh Season 2024. Now, there's been a lot of talk about how good some of these weapons are going to be, and I just want to get my thoughts in there, and I just want to go over some of the kits that we have just so you guys are up to date with what's going on. So if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Splatoon 3 content and also like the video. So let's get into it, because one of the first weapons that we have to go ahead and look at is one of the brand new ones. This is what we have to look at, which is the Douser Dualies FF. They call it FF, not too sure. But the Douser Dualies, we've actually got a kit reveal for this weapon too. This weapon in particular is going to be getting Ink Mine and Killer Whale. Now obviously this weapon is not currently in the game, so we don't exactly know why this weapon has been given the kit that it does. I have a feeling that the main weapon might be quite strong because we do have a little bit of gameplay. Now I think the thing that we really need to take a good look at about this weapon is the amount of damage this weapon is doing. It seems like this weapon may or may not be a 3-shot kill when the bullets are hitting directly. Some of these kills that this weapon is actually performing seems to be like fall-off damage, but if you see right here, that's definitely 3 hits in terms of its turret mode. But at the same time, it's really hard to tell because you can't tell mainly based on if the enemies are taking damage just by standing in someone else's ink or anything like that. And you know, I think that's something that we really need to take a look at. So but the amount, it does look like it does a decent amount of damage because the fire rate is not as quick, I would say, as the regular Splat Dualies. It's like a little bit slower in comparison, so it kind of needs to be able to perform like some decent damage output just while playing. But like I said, this thing does have Ink Mine and Killer Whale. I think Killer Whale is just perfectly fine with it. Especially with a long range weapon, I feel like you can actually pair that off pretty well. Ink Mine, it is a longer range weapon, and it's probably a more defensive aspect of the weapon, so I think this thing would be really good when it comes to watching the flank. It's just another way to be able to detect people. In a way, it's kind of like Nova, where it has point sensor and Killer Whale. It's like very recon heavy. And but this one's just like, it just feels like it's a stronger version. At least the main weapon wise is a little bit stronger. Also, one thing to really point out about this weapon too is that it only has 1 dodge roll. And the thing is about its 1 dodge roll is that it's a very long dodge roll. It's not like a regular Splat Dualie where you can roll up to 2 times and the rolls are quite short. It's just that 1 roll with this thing is actually quite long. So but I feel like it's something that people can get used to. I think this is actually going to be a pretty fun weapon to try out. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Now we move on to this beauty here. Now, in no way I think this weapon is going to be used in like super competitive situations. But what you're looking at right here is the new montage weapon. This is the new Squiffer, and the kit that it has is Auto Bomb and Zipcaster. Yes, I did not stutter. We have Zipcaster for the Squiffer. Now, I honestly thought that maybe with a Bamboozler, if they were going to give a charger a Zipcaster, it might have been the Bamboozler, because I think a Bamboozler, at least if you're zipping towards the ground and being able to pew people while you're on the same level as them, it probably would be able to perform that much better. But what I can see from this weapon in particular is that people are going to zipcast at a very high point, and then they're going to drop using the Squiffer just like falling down as they fully charge their shot, and then try to hit people like that. So in no way is this weapon going to be easy to use. Like, however, the amount of clips that this weapon is probably going to get just because of what it is, because if it's a sniper that you can literally launch yourself anywhere, it's just like, I think in general it's just going to be a really fun weapon to use. I don't think it's going to be necessarily like, oh my god, this is the best weapon ever, like this is so good and we need to all use it in competitive. No way, because if you want to use a Zipcaster weapon that's going to be really good, the Spartana Stamper is literally right there. However, this is going to be one of those weapons that's just going to be generally just really fun to use and really satisfying to use. So I'm looking forward to that. Right, so this weapon, the Wringer, the Wringer Dolphin. I'm not too sure of the official name yet, but it does have a dolphin right on the side of it. So this Wringer, what special does this have? It has Squid Beacon and Wavebreaker. Now, some of you instantly might be like, man, well, Wringer is dead. And you know what? You may or may not be right. However, we gotta give things a try. We gotta give things a shot. The Wringer was not necessarily a super fast weapon already out the bat. The Wringer that we have already is arguably already really aggressive somewhat because it has Suction Bomb and Resider. And I'm not too sure how much better you can really make it in terms of it being more aggro. I feel like another sub-weapon you could have possibly given it was Splashful, but I mean, Squid Beacon it's still very, very supportive. We can't deny that. So I feel like this particular Wringer's playstyle is just going to be much slower. It's probably going to fall into the category of like how the custom dually sculpture is, where it has like Squid Beacon and Super Jump, I believe. I feel like it's gonna fall into that category, except now you have a Wavebreaker. To be honest, I'd probably use this weapon over the custom dually sculpture, because at least with this weapon, it feels like it's gonna be, in terms of like, if you get yourself into a fight, it's probably going to be a whole lot more consistent in that way. I don't know, I kind of prefer this weapon right now over the custom dually sculpture right now, so I don't mind it. I don't think it's going to be like super horrible. Like if you know how to use the Wringer as a main weapon at the same time, I don't think you're going to have any issues with that. And personally, I really, really like the Wringer as a main weapon, like how that kind of works. So this actually might be a Squid Beacon weapon that I might even start using, because I don't even really use a lot of Squid Beacon weapons. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to giving this one a try. And in terms of how good it will be, yeah, like I said, I think it's just way more supportive, way more slower of a Wringer compared to the other one. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And the last weapon that we have is the Flingza Roller, the foil Flingza Roller, I believe. And we already knew the sub-weapon we were going to get with this weapon because it had a Suction Bomb, which it threw within the trailer. But the special that this weapon is going to be Splatter Color Screen. Now, a lot of people have been saying, especially with the Carling Bomb 52 gal with Splatter Color Screen, that they really dislike Splatter Color Screen in terms of its usage, in terms of like how it operates. I don't know. This is only my perspective. I can only speak for myself because, especially since I've used the foil squeezer quite a lot, and I really, really like the Splatter Color Screen along with that weapon, because I feel like if you throw the Splatter Color Screen in actual decent places, you're actually going to get some decent usage out of it. It's kind of like a mining game thing where people are not wanting to go through the wall because it's just free damage. But if you play behind the Splatter Color Screen and not just throw it out like a silly person and like throw it in good positions, then you actually get somewhat decent usage out of it. So I feel like it's really good on a push, but I feel like people really haven't tapped into how to use the Splatter Color Screen so well. So I feel like maybe that's kind of why they just say, they kind of write it off and just be like, you know what, no way we're using this. So, but that's just kind of my thoughts on it. In a competitive setting, maybe it just needs to be something that needs to be explored a little bit more. Casually, or just playing X rank or Anarchy, I think Splatter Color Screen is so cool. So I don't know, that's just my thoughts, especially with Flingza Roller too. I think Flingza Roller is just a whole much more consistent, shorter range weapon in comparison again to the Undercover Brella, which I just don't think that weapon just works well, really. I just don't think that weapon is just that great as a main weapon. The main weapon is definitely just not as strong as 52 gal or foil Flingza. So this foil Flingza is not even that bad. Like Suction Bomb, I mean, you can't complain with a Suction Bomb. Suction Bomb's great to have. So I think this foil Flingza will be quite fun to use. And yeah, I need to actually go ahead and use some of these rollers as well. So, I mean, I might actually pick this up. And that is basically the 4 weapons that we've received and how good I think they are going to be. Like, I feel like this is not going to be bad. I feel like this is just a play style that you're going to have to get into tune with. And with certain comps, yeah, maybe it'll work, because I feel like the main weapon, of course, it paints quite a bit. So I think people leave that out a little bit. And yeah, the Squiffer, that's just going to be, like, to be honest, on this list, the Squiffer is probably going to be the worst one out of the whole list. And it's not even just that it's the worst, because I don't even think it's the worst. Like, if you can hit with the Squiffer, it's the best weapon in the game. But in terms of actually performing, people are probably going to perform the worst with this weapon compared to all the other weapons shown here. So yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to trying out these dualies and giving it a try and see how good it is, really. It might be one of the first weapons I try, but yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. What are you guys' thoughts in the comment section below about all these new weapons that we've got? I mean, it is Friday, so we're not gonna be getting any more Splatoon news over this weekend. We actually have Splatfest this weekend too, so Saturday's gonna win. Just gonna let you guys know that. If you picked any of the other teams, I'm very sorry, but you've messed up. But like I said, no news until like Monday. Like, there's only 2 weapons that we're waiting for, which is the Eliter and the Custom Explosher, which we already know the Custom Explosher's kit. It's Splash Wall and Triple Splashdown. So we're just needing to know what the Beacon Eliter is, and that's basically all the new weapons that we're gonna get. Unless they're gonna drop some extra new weapons too that we have not seen yet. So we don't know that yet. But either way, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you do enjoy, make sure to like it and subscribe. And yeah, I shall see you guys in a future video.